Okay, guess what? We're trying this again. Oh, where's my little chat box gone? It was so handy. I closed it. Oh, I'll use that one. That works. I'm so bad at this streaming nonsense. So, the last one, I was just on here streaming and it totally crashed and burned because it kept freezing. So now we've lowered a bunch of settings and we're going to try this again. What should I draw? Oops, I draw in MS Paint. The greatest program there ever was, especially because YouTube is giving me some grief. And can I move that over? Because now, if you guys didn't know, there are layers in MS Paint, which is crazy. So like now I can do this. Watch. Look, layers. And you'd think, oh, I can't get rid of just that part. Yes, I can, because it's its own layer. But obviously, that is a lot of rubbish, so let's get rid of that. And we're going to draw, I don't know, we're going to draw a purple. Oh, wow, I'm catching MikeWardDrawing live. Hi, not yet Forsaken. I don't know what the delay is, so I just read your thing. I think it just popped up, so however long that delay was, the less it becomes a meme. Yes, the more they update, the more better that they make this silly program, this MS Paint. Yeah, it's because it used to be a big joke. Of course, when I grew up, I don't want to age myself here, but it's old. It was the program to have. What should I draw? Not yet Forsaken. You get first dibs, I guess. Because if you don't say nothing, I'm going to draw something rude. Like a robot's butt. Too late, I'm drawing it. Doop doop doo doo doop doo doo doop doo doop doo. This is gonna be really good, guys. Really good. Oh yeah. Just in case it's not obvious, I'm gonna put robot. But here we go. Now we're going to spaceships. Yes, that is definitely what I've been planning to do another long video, and I've been so busy that I keep doing these silly little shorts. Because Star Citizen is where I started, and I wanted to do one where it was going to be Pyro, that big update, and it was supposed to be like a year ago, I think, that they said, oh, everyone's going to be in here. And it still isn't even released yet. I sure miss those days of that game. Gave him a kind of a, I'll put his face on like a swivel, that way we can show him. There you go. It went into the Pyro's in the PTU today. Oh my goodness. That is awesome. Yeah, I definitely need to do another Star Citizen video. I actually wrote a little commercial, as it were, to make a short to try to redirect people to it. Okay, well, there is my robot butt. I'm going to do your spaceship now. With a new layer in my fancy MS Paint program. What ship should I do? Oh dear. I guess I could design my own stupid thing. Robot, yeah, robot butt pog. There it is. I'm an artist, You can't tell from this. I had Photoshop going. I literally just had stream going for 10 minutes. And it kept crashing the Photoshop. So I don't know what's wrong. I got more than enough RAM. But as soon as I hit live, Photoshop kept freezing. So I turned that off. And now we're doing it in here. My ship, my dream ship in Star Citizen was the Phoenix. Was it the Phoenix? Constellation? I can't remember what it's called. And it was kind of like this cruise ship. This is starting to look dirty. Give it some wings. Yeah, the Connie Phoenix, and that was my dream ship because you know what it is because literally the first time that I ever played the game, I started in Lorville, and they just have it on display. So it was like the first luxury ship that I had come across. Thank you for watching. I'm glad. Uh, and anyway, it was the first video that, or the first ship, luxury ship, and I was so impressed with it. And I spent that whole video trying to buy it. And then I ended up, of course, not even getting close in the video. And then a bunch of people donated money, so I ended up getting it. And when I played it, honestly, it was so disappointing. The hot tub didn't even open. That was huge. And then I don't even know what I'm drawing here. I'm trying to talk and draw at the same time. It's so hard. How's my puppet working? Hopefully good. Every time I tried to make the puppet better last time I did one of these streams, it totally kicked everyone off. Nobody was interested in me fixing my puppet. They just wanted me to... I was playing a game. It's okay. Puppet works good. Oh, good. Right now, I'm not doing anything with the arms or anything. I should set up some triggers, but I'm not going to today. I'm supposed to be working on a new video, but I didn't want to. Anyway, what was I saying? I should probably look at a picture of what the Connie Phoenix actually looks like, because this is not it at all. All I remember is that it's long. Oh, and it had like a little ship underneath it. That also didn't work when I was playing it. So yeah, it was broken. Everything was broken on it. Trying to not to burp while I'm... Should I say that out loud? I'm trying not to do important things. I don't even know. Let's see. I'm gonna draw... I want to draw something Halloweeners. Something extra Halloweener. I'm gonna draw a wiener. And by that I mean a hot dog. Before anyone censors me. But he's a vampire. Not a happy one. The hot tub is still broken. You know, that's great. I mean, the game's only been out for 100 years. It's one of the first ships that was in it. Why shouldn't it still be broken, right? You know what? I'm going to draw him scratching his butt. There we go. Scratching his buns, I should say. I'm hilarious. Hey, everybody. Because you know what's creepier than scratching your butt in public? Is waving to people while you're scratching your butt. I'll put some little scritchy lines here that shows scritch, 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 scritch. And he says, because he's a little prevert, blah. He says, blah, I want to suck. There we go. Oh yeah, he's saying it out loud. And we'll just leave it like that. He is very spooky. I should probably try to draw something good. I wish my Photoshop was going. Not that that's really an excuse. I mean, I could put effort. You know, like proper, you know, etch lines and do some of this. Whoop, whoop. You know, if I really wanted to do it good. But I don't want to do it good, I guess. I think it would be really boring to actually watch somebody sit and do all the nuanced, you know, like portrait making. Does MS Paint actually read pressure? It does not. I literally just tried to draw a light line and it is not doing it at all. Yeah. But that'll be the next thing that they add, isn't it? You know, this program's going to keep getting better and better. And yeah, it'll stop being a meme, absolutely. Now I'm just drawing a regular guy, so I have to spook him up too. Let's give him some baggy eyes. And actually, no eyes. He's just got empty eye sockets. Oh, now it just looks like he's looking to the side. How do I do that? This is going to be tricky. What's the Inktober for today? I don't... It really depends on what prompt thing you're looking at. I did a picture one time for Inktober. It was a lot of fun. A lot of my pictures are my wife, just because she's my muse. And so for one of them, I had a lineup of pumpkins. So I had this pumpkin in the front. Oops. So he had a pumpkin on the front, and he had kind of one eye already cut out and part of his smile. And then she was sat here in front. I always draw her like this because she's got these bangs in the front, so I always draw the bangs first. It's easy. Whoa, that is not going to be her face. Yeah. And we'll put her tongue out because she's really focused on it. Here we go. And she is the beautician for a bunch of pumpkins. Let's see. But I think I had her kneeling. Of course, in the real one, I spent real time on it. That is super. I think it's super sweet. So I draw her a lot, and so I kind of had her sitting on the ground here, in a pumpkin patch, and so she was kind of carving up all the faces, and she loved it. So obviously she stuck that everywhere. I got error message coming up right over top of the chat. That's cool. That's supposed to be a hand? I don't even know what I'm doing. What? No. Hang on. You should have a knife sticking right out of his face, shouldn't it? But to make it not super creepy about when she was doing it, like I had a whole lineup of pumpkins that were behind, and they were all just hanging out, and they were just chatting, and they all had the vines were their legs, now that I think about it. And they were all just totally jazzed about their new little expressions that they got. Oh, I'm way off the side here. Hang on. I think I can fix that if I go like that, and then I go... Nope. There. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, and they're just like, ooh la la, look at my face. Ooh. Super excited about it. And then there's another one that was here. And it was called... I see the flaps, but no audio. What? Oh, it is back. This YouTube is giving me such grief today. It's so weird. I don't know what's going on. Oh, my face has gotten all stretched up. Let me fix that. Plonk. There. So, they're just like, oh, showing off all their fancy faces to each other. And then behind here was just a whole lineup of guys waiting with no carvings at all. They're just waiting in line. And that was my best, I think, my best Inktober that I had ever done. But it's hard to do it really quick in MS Paint. So we're going to cover that again. Make a new layer. And now we're going to draw. I don't even know. It is so sweet. Thank you. I believe it is so sweet. I took a concept art course for drawing because like I could draw better than what you see here. And I had this concept art course, and another one of my bestest ones was she was a space detective. I draw a lot of space stuff. I don't know if you've seen my videos with the rabbit, square rabbit, but yeah, like I don't want her serious, but not. There we go. Yeah, she was kind of standing like super cool. This is not at all, and she had actual proportions. I don't know why I've drawn them all cartoony right now, but I drew her like in this cool long coat, and she had, I don't even know, this gadget that was like a hologram. She had like kind of a square thing and had this hologram, and it was all this evidence on there. She had like a gun, and she was my space detective, and it looked exactly like her, right? And then I was told to draw another picture where I had to do anthropomorphized animal, so like a person animal, and I drawn this squirrel, right? And I, give it these big silly cheeks, and and everything, and it was totally exactly just a squirrel. I don't remember how a squirrel actually looks now. And it was totally fine. And then I went, oh, you know what? Let's just give her this hair. And suddenly it was my wife again. And my art teacher was like, why do you keep drawing all your characters with the same haircut, the same red with the bangs? And I was like, oh, that's my wife. And she's like, does you know that you've made him into a squirrel? And I said, oh no, I'm not going to show her any of this stuff. It would go right to her head. What to draw now? Let's see. Now I'm just talking about old stuff I've drawn. I want to draw something new. Let's draw something really... I don't even know. We're going to draw a scene now. Something spookers. Let's draw... Oh, whoops. There we go. There, we'll draw a haunted house. Really good. Okay. And then in front of it, this is where we're going to actually draw some stuff. We're going to draw... a werewolf. I don't know why I'm drawing it like this. I've never drawn a wolf like this before. I drew it like in 10 seconds earlier, and I was like, huh, I like the way he looks. But you gotta give him pants. This is how the difference between a wolf and a werewolf is the pants and the belt. Give him a belt. Otherwise, it's just like, who knows? Just like a wolf, standing wolf. And he's there, and he is judging this regular wolf. Do-do-do-do-do-do. There, I'll make him talking. And he'll say, get some... I can't spell. Get some pants on! Exclamation mark. Here we go. Do-do-do-do-do. And he just says, Bork. Because that is a regular wolf. And that's the difference between werewolf, were, and wolf. Oops. Were and wolf, because they are not equal. Thank you for attending my TED Talk. Okay, I don't know what I should... Oop, no. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Yes, it's very informational. You know, you get to see art and you get to learn something. Let me teach you something else. This is a uterus. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that. We're going to do... I don't know. You know, well, I think I should just like bounce my head and not by my guy moves. It's following my head. I can make it so it follows my arms and stuff too, but I don't know. Effort. Because I guess what I'm drawing too, it's not really going to do much. Draw something spookers here. I drew a tattoo years ago, and it was, but like a detailed, I should say detailed, and it was two skulls, but they were joined together so that together they formed a heart. I wonder if I could do it. And they were totally blended, like a Siamese twin kind of a thing. Or not Siamese, what's the word? Conjoined? And anyway, so I had it like really messed up like this. Oh, and actually their teeth became one jaw. Yeah. Yeah, this will work. I think I can show off kind of what it looked like. The one I did was a lot more detailed. And so it was a conjoined sort of face, and it made this heart shape of two skulls blended together, and it was, you know, proper detailed and stuff like that. And when the noses were in there, it was a lot more understandable. My dad went ahead, because I have a twin brother, so my dad went ahead and got this tattooed on himself somewhere, his arm or something. And he's like, oh, it's my boys, it's my twins. But the thing is, I drew it so many years ago that my understanding of skull anatomy was so rough, and now I can't stand to look at it. But I don't tell him I hate it. I'll tell you the worst tattoo. A friend of mine. So I started drawing. This is, okay, I'm going to title this one. So if anyone comes in here and sees, they're going to see the worst tattoo I've drawn. So a friend of mine wanted a tattoo that matched with her sister, and for years I was drawing what I call stick dinosaurs, and this was the T-Rex. And I think his arms went like this and like this. Okay, that is the stick dinosaur, and or the T-Rex, I should say. And then her sister got, and I think I always made him angry at the time. And she got the long neckosaurus, is what I called it, and it was like this. And I was drawing these all the time. I was drawing them on every kind of textbook that I could find, and I begged him. I begged her not to get this, but she said, I really want your stick figure dinosaur as one of my tattoos, the T-Rex one, and I want my sister to get the long neck one. And I was like, no, it's so bad. Let me draw you something properly. And she's like, no, I definitely want to have it. So she goes off to, let's make a new layer here. Can I lower the opacity on this thing? That'd be crazy. No, I can't. Okay. I'm going to draw you now what the guy did. So my friends did look ultimately like this, but her sister, now the tattoo artist, he was, I don't even know, he must have been high or drunk or something like that, because the one that he drew looked like, we're gonna have to hide it. I need the space. It looked like, for one thing, it was supposed to be so small. It was supposed to be like an inch tall, and instead it looked like, and it went, and it was about 6 inches long, and it looked like that. Oh, and you know what? Actually, I did it better than it was. It looked like, because the front of it did that too. And I had one long leg, and I had that leg. And that's what her sister now has tattooed forever. So it was supposed to be, where'd that last one go? That one. And now it looks like that. And she paid $100 for that one. It was done in 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes. I think most of that was him going back to drink whatever he was drinking. And then she tipped him another $100. Like, I wouldn't have given him, I would have been so angry. And I begged them both not to even do it, because I'm like, stick figures is such a stupid. And then my wife and I started a comic years ago, and we really updated them. And this is what, so it was a stick figures comic. Whoop, whoop. Let's fill that in there. And then that part was also filled in. Can I do that fill in tool button? Oh. And that's what the stick figures actually look like now. That was T-Rex, or he was Terrence Rex. And then I had, what were the other ones I had? I don't know why I'm doing it with that tool. Let's just go with, whoop. Why does it leave all this little white around? It's weird. Anyway, we'll draw his eyes out like this. And I think he was like that. It is lovely. I think so. And then even the long neck one got updated. Dinosaur, you're in my way. Oops. And keep in mind that this was, now a web comic, so it didn't need to be that perfect, and we drew it very quickly. I say I drew it, but my wife, she wrote a lot of them, And that's what the comics ended up looking, right? So I kind of took the characters back, but I really, so somewhere there's two people with those tattoos on it, except for the one obviously looks like this, and it's just, I wake up screaming about it. It's ridiculous. But you can't help some people. They wanted to have the ugliest tattoo in the world and pay $100 for it. Well, then that's that's what happens. Oh dear. Okay. What should I draw now? How long have I been streaming? How long has this been going? I'm in this thing where I have to do certain longs. I am surrounded by good friends, it's true. Actually, not that many anymore, but at the time I had lots of good friends. Okay. I don't know what they're doing now, though. I haven't seen them in years. We're going to draw a pumpkin. Now I'm forgetting to talk. Silly me. What am I doing here? What? Tell me, Forsaken, what are you getting up to today? Or not yet Forsaken. I shouldn't call you Forsaken because you are not, in fact, yet Forsaken. You gotta answer quick. You gotta be interesting. Say like you're skydiving. You can call me Nif. Oh, yeah. All right. I like that, Nif. I'm working on a D&D map. That is awesome. You're the DM then? You do the DMing ring? Forever a DM. That's awesome because, yeah, that's tricky to find the DMs. Yes, it is a pain. Have you been using the AI at all? The A intelligence, the artificial eye, clashes with the style. Yeah, that's the problem I'm having with the AI. And I'm gonna say something controversial here because AI totally lost me two jobs, two concept art jobs. One of them that I actually did have, and one of them that I was supposed to get right away. And then he fired all of his concept artists, and then he decided that he was going to only use AI. And he was making a video game. Actually, it was a friend of mine, and he was making a video game that was supposed to come out in 2023, and then it was supposed to go to Kickstarter in 2024. And now we're just about to the end of 2024, and he hasn't even announced it yet. And I know it's because it completely stalled his, because he's like, look what I can do. And he typed in, it was the first time I ever seen Midjourney, and he types in some prompt and it comes up with 1,000 or 4 really good pictures. And he goes, how long would that have taken you? And I said, that's a 40-hour art piece that you did in 10 seconds. I said, no, I can't compete against that. And he goes, yeah, and that's why I fired all my concept artists, and now you're going to have to get a new job or something like that. And I'm like, fine, that's fine. I won't work on your game. I should draw while I'm doing this. What's something I can draw? Anyway. You don't use the AI either? So I've lost the 2 jobs to the AI, and I was really against it. When it first came out, I was one of those on Twitter that was like, do not use the AI. It's putting us out of work. It put me out of work. And I was so angry about it. And somebody had said to me, he goes, listen, you with your sitting on your horse there, yelling about motor carriages and cars and things like that. It doesn't matter if you're against it. It's here and it's not going anywhere. Yeah, I didn't like the AI either. I don't really like it now, but he said, listen, so it's here right now. All you guys that are yelling, no AI, no AI, it makes sense because the AI that you're looking at is so janky and awful. But, like you said, cars never went anywhere. Pens came out, and suddenly chiseling your notes in stone went out the way. So, you've got to kind of accept it, right? And so I started to use the AI as because he said, listen, one day you're going to go and apply for a job, and you could be against AI all you want, but two people are going to apply for the exact same job, have exactly 100% the same skills, except for one of them is going to be really good at using AI and the other one isn't, because he's going to use it as a tool. And that's where it really opened my eyes, because I'm like, yeah, I could be angry and all that sitting at home broke all I want, and what is it going to do for me, right? So I started to use the AI a little bit, and the more I used the AI, the more I realized how useless it actually is. And so I do use AI for projects like work projects. I don't do my art with it. And that's also where, AI was supposed to come in and make robots that make work easier so that I could go home and draw all day. It's not supposed to do the drawing for me. That's stupid. Anyway, that's just my little angry notes right there. So I started using it and I started realizing it's really not that good. If you're not an artist, like if you're a regular guy and you're just using it to make your D&D characters and things like that, stuff that you weren't going to pay somebody anyway, then I'm fine with it. I don't care. If you're costing jobs, then obviously I have an opinion on that. However, if you're an artist and you can, because right now, if you're a professional artist, let's say you're a concept artist, they teach you photo bashing on day one. And that is where you take a bunch of photos. Let's say you got to make a city. They don't want to pay you to start drawing every single little building or anything like that. They want to pay you to make a picture really fast. And the way to do that is to take a bunch of pictures of cities, start bashing them together, blending them or whatever, and then you start painting over top of them, because they're looking for a sci-fi city. So why draw a city where there's already cities? Take a picture of a city, then start drawing spaceships and stuff. That's a regular plane. That's not going to work. So many of the Twitter artists compositing, and I don't understand why. Right? Yeah, that's just it. Just start bashing photos together and then draw on top of it. And that is what, I live in the same city as BioWare and Beamdog and a bunch of these companies. So there's a lot of concept artists in the area that I'm friends with. And they're just like, yeah, if they ask you to start drawing like a suit of armor, and you start off by drawing a stick figure and fleshing them out. No, in Edmonton. They have the Edmonton branch. Anyway, if you start drawing, a character and start fleshing him out and giving him shoulder, muscles and stuff like that, they're just like, get out of here. What are you doing? Go find a picture of a guy and then draw the pseudo armor on top of him. We're not paying you to draw a guy. We know what a guy looks like. So that's where I think the AI should really be used. It should be a tool for the artist. So I started using it that way, realizing that it really wasn't giving me the answers to anything I wanted, but it was getting me closer. It was speeding me up it was really knocking the first 2 hours off an 8-hour project. And so by doing that, I was just a little bit faster, but it really didn't change my art style or anything like that. And yeah, traditional art and digital art, I think the best people that are going to, in the future, the best people that are going to be using AI are going to be those artists, because they know how to take something from the AI that is not good, but they've learned how to do the prompts and things good. And then they're going to actually draw on top of it. Because if you take someone who doesn't know traditional art, let's say somebody's generated a picture of, I don't know, a teapot. Okay, what does a teapot look like? Okay, somebody who's not an artist, and he figures he wants to be an artist. So now he's generated a picture of a teapot, and he was like, all right, now I want you to go and design what this would look like for my fantasy game. And they just started going, oh, it's going to have some Elvish writing on top of it. And they did it totally flat across it. Like, let's say, for the sake of it, let's say it said good times. Good times. And that's now etched into this thing. And oh, you know what? Let's give it a fancier lid, and we'll just I don't know. We'll make it pointier, and I'll give it some horns like that. And the person who now needs to 3D model it, they're going to say, well, what are these horns just sticking off the side? How is that? Like, what's the 3 dimensions of it? Is it sticking off the lid? Is this actually the lid, or is this the hole inside of it? And why is good times written across like that when it's a round, it's a round surface? Shouldn't it be written like good, that kind of thing? And so having the traditional skill is going to be what really pushes your art, even if you use the AI to begin with. Also, you always do drawings. Oh yeah, well, I draw like all my things. So, but when I'm doing the work, because I do art at work, that's where. So if you're doing concept art now, or if you were doing it, let's say 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and they said draw a sci-fi city, you would grab a bunch of pictures of cities and you would blend them all together, and then you would end up, and then afterwards you go in afterwards and you're like, hey, I'm just going to draw, my saucers and my aliens and stuff on top of it. And now you can just generate kind of that same thing with the AI, and it's not any faster. So with the AI, what I was finding was that you do your little prompt and you get 4 options. Let's say, I did need the city thing, and I said, okay, first I would try 10 times to do sci-fi city, and it's going to come up with something that I can't use, something that's not good enough for a 3D artist to actually render out. So then I would say, okay, just draw a picture of a city, and it would come up with 4 really good, probably, pictures of cities. And I go, great, that's what I wanted. But they're not good enough. So I tell it to do it again. I wait another 30 seconds, and then I get another 4, right? Or I just pop onto Google Images, Google Image Search, and I just type in city, and I get literally just 1,000 of them in 10 seconds. And it's just so much faster. So having the AI tool had not sped me up at all. So that's why I realized the limitations of it. So I actually did a talk. I said, I'm an artist who lost work to AI, and you should learn how to do AI, because otherwise you're never going to be employed again. It's just not going anywhere. And the more people that are angry about it, I 100% totally get it. But and I was angry. I was one of them. But until somehow all the computers break, I don't know. Yeah, the asset library stuff. I mean, that's a challenge right on its own in Unreal. Yeah. This is a base take. Yeah, so I'm always telling people, I'm like, you know what? Don't use AI. I don't use AI, but learn AI, because if you want to be employed, that's kind of what you need to do, because they're not going to hire you based on your moral ground, as it were. It's like running in there and saying, I only do my concept art pen and paper. And they're going to say, well, what do we need you for then? Because when you get into the actual studio level, and they'll say, I need a picture, because most people look at concept art and it's all well painted up, and they think that is a final, that's what all concept artists do. Most concept art, actually, like if you looked at what's that movie, Inside Out, they did a square for the angry guy, and then the kind of a blob for the sad one, and I think they did kind of this shape for joy. What were all of them? I can't even remember. Anyway, and they said, okay, we're going to color this one red, and this one's going to be blue. That didn't work. This one's going to be blue, and this one's going to be yellow. Whatever. Anyway, and this is what the characters actually look like for a lot of the development, because they weren't worried about, they didn't need to every single time draw him with his head on fire, and like he got the angry eyebrows and the, you know, the stumpy whatevers, because it really didn't need to be. It just looked like this, because that was all that mattered. So if you start going in there and every one of your pictures is this beautiful AI rendered kind of thing, and really they were just looking for that, then you're just wasting time doing that too. So that's where, you know, the people who know AI are going to do better. They're going to get the job, but it doesn't mean that you're going to use AI. Anyway, that was my rant, my opinion. AI equal bad, but learn it to be employable. There we go. And we'll get rid of that layer. And now we're going to draw something I don't even know. We're going to draw a duck. Actually, back in the day, my wife helped me with a lot of my webcomics. I had a whole bunch, but I did one, and she hated this one so much. And my dad loved it, and my mom hated it, and it was called "It's Already Doing Some Real Work for Water Rendering Simulations." Well, that's just it, yeah. Back in the day, not that long ago, we called AI machine learning, or we called it tool assisted. You know, AI has been around for so long. And now, of course, we just call it AI. And now, so that was Rabbit. I had an old comic, that was Rabbit. And this was Duck. And all the comics were just really about the duck not liking him. I'm going to see if I can find him real quick. Get that out of there. All my private drawings. And so my wife helped me do all my webcomics except for this one, and she absolutely hated it. And my mom hated it, and my dad thought it was just the funniest thing in the world. Here we go. Here's number 1. Duck and Rabbit, number 1. And super fuzzy. Want to be friends? No. And that was it. That was what started it. And it's stupid. It's not even a joke. I don't even know why it's funny. And I go put her name on there, Michael and Becky. And she was like, don't put my name on that. And I was like, no, I have to put your name on it. You helped me. Yeah, let's see if there's another one. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, the girl one. I love you. I love Duck. It's just, and it was just called Duck, and it was Rabbit. Can you guess which one's which? And my mom said, you know what? I really don't like your tuning fork and step stool comic. And I said, what are you talking about? It's great. Like, is this funny? I don't know. Who stole the CD? Who stole the CD? He did. And that's just, now he's in jail. That's, oh yeah, I bought you a shirt. I hate it. And then when he leaves, I love it. I thought they were Tetris pieces. Yeah, that's just, I don't know why I drew it one day. I just did, and I was like, you know what? That's the comic now. This is going to be, that's a duck, that's a rabbit, and they go on misadventures together, except they don't go together because, of course, this one hates Rabbit, and this one wants to be a friend. You could tell from the eyebrows. So she wasn't keen on that one. But it's not for everybody. It actually did really well, though. You know, all the other comics where I spent real effort on, see if I can find one of those. Like I did one where I actually ended up in a local newspaper. And, you know, here's the last page one. This was a long time ago, so my art's changed a little bit. I'm always drawing rabbits, so it was a pink rabbit at the time, and he was a space captain. Anyway, I ended up in a local newspaper with this one, and you know, I used to put a real effort into it, and they never really caught on. Although you might recognize the carrot chip here. Newgrounds flashbacks. This was during the height of Newgrounds. It's true. So yeah. And anyway, I put real effort into that, and I got into a local newspaper, and it did fine. But when I did that stupid comic, and there was like only 17 of them of these two characters, that was the one that everyone watched or read, I should say. And then I stopped doing it because I really couldn't think of any more jokes. Once you've sort of said I hate the duck or I hate the rabbit enough times, then there's only so many ways you can say it. So I stopped doing it pretty quick. Um, hmm. This has become story hour. I was supposed to be drawing pictures. I'm going to draw a sad. Wait. Have you seen the Reddit comic My Dad is Dracula? Yes, I have. It's where it's like my dad is Dracula and a puddle, and my dad is Dracula and a hot dog, and he's so supportive. Like, I could do that. My dad is Dracula and a... I don't even know. Let's just do one of these. Let's do a rocket ship. Here, let's go. It is very charming, yeah. I like those wholesome ones. And I did a test stream the other day, and it was really short. And my wife says, "You're being a little bit too wholesome." And I'm like, "But I am wholesome. Like, I don't swear. My biggest swear is biscuits or raspberries." And there we go. Anyway, so I'm pretty wholesome as it is anyway. And she's like, "You need to be less wholesome," because she watches Jacksepticeye and PewDiePie and this other guy, Cinnamon Toast Ken, I think his name is. And she's like, "Stop being so wholesome." I'm like, "I can't. I have to be wholesome." So I like those silly comics like that. Doop, 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 doop. This is now I don't even know, raspberry? Or strawberry? It's strawberry now. Doop, 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 doop. And he's a vampire too. Haha. You want a tip about strawberries? Get small ones. Everyone buys really big strawberries, and strawberry cells. I hate drawing forest on maps. I also hate drawing forest on maps. I ended up a long time ago, I made a brush that just did like 5 random trees, and then that way I could just go and it would just draw all these trees. And now I think you could just download. So anyway, if you're ever getting strawberries, strawberry cells are really weird because they have, you know how everything is just a bunch of cells. Inside each of the cells is this little thing that's got the flavor in it. And if you let a strawberry keep growing to really big cells, that little flavor nugget stays the same size inside because it's literally sitting inside one of the organelles. And yeah, they're full of water. That's literally it. They're full of cellular fluids, which would be in most cases water. But the little organelle that has the flavor is still that little tiny one. So if you get a little tiny strawberry, then it's got way more density of those in there. So there you go. If you ever do, I don't know why I know that. Strawberries are so weird because you do, like, if you do the detergent trick, I don't know if you've ever done it, and you can separate all of its DNA out, and then you can pull out all this strings of DNA. It's pretty cool, I think. And if you ever get a watermelon, this is what's really stupid, or really weird too, is that the watermelons that look the best generally have less flavor because once it ripens, then it starts to do all the flavor stuff. All the cells tend to not ferment, but whatever it is that produces the flavor of a watermelon. So if it's perfectly round and perfect and really good, generally they don't taste that good. And especially if you pick it up and it's light. So if you get one that's exactly the same size and it's got this big, flat, ugly, sort of white, paley sort of color, and it weighs twice as much, get that one because that one is full of the juice and all the flavors of it. So get the ugly ones. Don't get if it's rotten, but if it's got like a big patch like this, because that is what happens when it sits on the ground for too long. I don't know why I'm going on about fruit now. Yeah, the ones that don't sound hollow. Yeah, that's just it. If they're light or they're hollow, then fruit sculpting with Mike Ward. That is right. I did that when I was in like an art school, and I had to do. We took these apples, and I think all you did was literally you cut out this sort of shape like this, and then you poked a hole. No, yeah, you cut out a shape like this, and you sort of cut this part off of a nice perfect apple, and then after a couple of days, it would shrink down, and it would become a perfect little you know, the shrunken heads. Like if you've seen the new, or even the old one, if you see the new Beetlejuice movie and they all have that shrunken head, that's what they ended up looking like. That was the only time I actually sculpted fruit. I tried doing the pumpkin carving, where they do the 3D. It didn't go great. It's way more work. You know, you watch Halloween Wars, and they're just like, do in 10 seconds, and they've got this perfect little like actual human face carved out of it. Like what was that? What would a human face look like? And it doesn't work that way at all. You know, you spend 2 hours getting the orange off. Blah. That's the noise I figure that he must make. If anyone's watching this, the reason I'm doing streaming right now, I'm in this thing with I can't even go into all the details, but basically I'm in this thing and it's about streaming. Vertical live streaming, I should say, to appear in the vertical, like the shorts feed, because YouTube right now is really pushing it. So I'm going to put vertical stream. They're really pushing it right now, and there is a whole bunch of people, like in the early days of shorts, all these channels were exploding really fast. Do it because very early on it was something like 1 billion views of shorts, and they had 500 million shorts. So if you did a good one, you got a ton of views. And on the front page, that's awesome. On the homepage, yeah. So right now they're really pushing it. So they're doing the live stream thing. It's to compete against TikTok's one. And so right now they're saying it's not quite like the early days of the shorts, but it's still the same thing where they've got more people now searching for live vertical streams than there are people doing vertical streams. So there's this like demand supply discrepancy where the demand is actually higher, and it's not always going to stay that way. So if you want to grow a channel, you know, that's what shorts are really for, is grow your channel. And then long videos, that's where you really, no, shorts grow your audience, long grows your channel, and that's where you're going to get all the recurring views and all the money and stuff like that. But if you do the live streaming thing, it's the same thing. They're really pushing it. And they're also doing a thing now where if you schedule a live stream, let's say I schedule one for tomorrow and I upload a short today, when you're watching my short, it'll actually say this person will be live tomorrow or in 19 hours, and you can hit a button and it will tell you when they're live. And it's really crazy. So yeah, if anyone wants to grow a channel, that's what you do. And if you want to grow an animation channel, you need to watch my video that has how to do that. Like I'm gonna literally make an animated. You know, let's get rid of that text. We're going to no. Yeah. In like 10 minutes, I'm gonna do the work that's going to be how to make how to make animated channels. I should have typed it. Animated channel, easy for, oh my gosh, non artists. That must have been painful to watch. Let's do this. Okay. If you want to make an anime channel, and there's a whole bunch of these, and you've probably seen them, and you don't realize that they're doing this, they're not actually animated. They're still images, and the mouth changes. So let's say I'm going to do, let's just do my rabbit. Okay. Okay. So we're going to draw him real easy. Actually, and we'll do a little up. And then what you do is you draw the mouth closed. And Max showing up. Yeah. So a lot of the animated channels now are doing this. They're not actually animating anything. And this is and everyone should do this. And I actually have a short video somewhere on my channel that explains it. I should do a long video. And so just draw the mouth closed. Let's draw his teeth. Actually, for the sake of it, I won't do his teeth. Now let's make a new layer, and we're going to paint over his old mouth. So actually paint over it, and then draw it open. Now we'll put his teeth in. Now watch this. Sup? What's going on here? Let's get that. Look at me, I'm talking. Isn't this so cool? Isn't this just the craziest thing you ever seen? And obviously I'm just doing it by flicking the layers off and on. But when you put it into an actual program, like Adobe Premiere or whatever, and you're doing that, you can sync it up to the audio, and it's really easy. You just sync it up to literally the syllables, like, whoop, like, please subscribe, like that. Really easy. And that way, you can make all your characters talk. So you just do a second character suddenly, and people won't even realize that you've done this. And especially because if you're really doing, especially if you're doing YouTube shorts, because first off, they're not really paying that much attention. And I don't know what this guy's supposed to be. What you'll do in a YouTube short is that you will first, you'll have them set up so that they're both on frame, but then generally you just have it so you only see this guy, and then you only see this guy, and it's flipping between the two. And if they need to be in a new pose, then you just hide him, and put him in a new pose. So we'll just, like, I don't know. There. And so I didn't animate him doing this at all. I just went and what it is, first it showed this guy talking, and then it switched back to this guy, and he's in a totally different pose. And that's what a lot of the channels are doing. So they're not animating the difference between here and here. They're just showing off the wrong character, and then when they switch back, he suddenly looks like this. Get rid of those lines. Punky Doodles, but yeah. No, yeah, there's very little, and Punky Doodles is another one where there's just not a lot of animation. Or some of them will do some animations, like if you've seen the Marmalade one, Nigel and Marmalade, he does some animations. But a lot of them, there's just not that much. And what I've been doing for my latest ones is, make a new layer here, is I just drew a mouth like this. And then on top, I drew a mouth like this. And now it's just literally like flopping between the two. Not even synced to the time at all. And I'm just like, I'll record a long line and it'll just be like, hey, what's it going today? And literally the mouth is just going blah, 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 blah. But when you're watching it, especially on a short, and you're not really paying that much attention, it looks like it's synced to it perfectly. And so it's just super easy. And so if you've got a script of two characters talking, and you don't have any kind of animation, don't write something like, and then a building blows up, or then he goes surfing and does a cool flip. If you just have characters talking very gig, jokey things, this is the way to do it. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do an animation channel. Yeah. I am going to do a long video, like a like a proper long, and I'll show the whole process. Like I'll do the characters in Photoshop, and then I'll do it in MS Paint, and then I'll do like even the video editing, I'll do it in Premiere, and then I'll do it in a free program. That way I can really show, like, if you've never done, and you know, and there's people that literally just picked up their phone, and where's that guy's mouth now? Oh my gosh, I'm so bad at this. Oh, that's because I didn't draw him a second face. Hang on. Okay. There. A lot of people, they just take their phone, they're literally recording the screen, and they just go, hey, what's going on here? How's everyone doing? And they don't even need to animate. They just drew it in MS Paint, and they're recording it on their phone, and it totally works. Now, what should I talk about? I think that's everything I can think of. I don't even have an expensive microphone. Hopefully it sounds okay right now. I should have checked. Circle Tune just records as Photoshop. Yeah, that's exactly it. Or you could even do, here's another way you can do it. Let's get rid of, I gotta delete a bunch of these layers because I am totally lost. Okay. Here's another way, and this is kind of what Circle Tunes does. And it's really easy. So, okay, let's draw this square. Let's fill it in black. Oh, and it does that little white line. That's so strange, isn't it? Anyway. Then you just draw your square around it, kind of overlap it, and then just be like, whoa, what's going on, hey, everybody? Isn't that so weird? Isn't this so easy? Look at me talking. Ha 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 ha. I mean, how easy is that? Anyone could do that. And you just record it on your phone and you're done. Yeah, and Circle Tunes, I mean, they blew up doing that. It is perfect, yeah. I mean, that's the easiest way that anyone can do an animated mouth. And Circle Tunes blew up doing that. There's one where the characters are like bright green, purple, and sometimes they have a goat in there or something like that. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, none of theirs are basically animated. Like they'll have the goat sometimes, and he'll just he'll just have a second arm, and he'll just be like, here, you know what? Let's get rid of everything. I'm getting confused. What I got? All right, starting over. There. Oh wait, I want my title. Oh, I'm so bad at this. I gotta delete a bunch of layers. Can I just actually highlight a bunch? No. No. Okay. So, I literally cannot remember what I was just about to show. What were we talking about? Circle Tune. Oh, okay, I do remember. So let's say we've got a guy here. I think in his case, he had kind of a goat. What does a goat even look like? Nailed it. Okay. So we've got a goat. He's got his 2 legs in the back, and then he had his kind of 2 arms in the front, but one of them is what he's talking with. And so he points. So actually, I'm going to make a new layer of his pointing hand. And then we're going to make another new layer of his waving hand or something like that. And so he doesn't even change frames. He just literally there we go. Turns that one off and turns that one on in the middle of the thing. And now, you know, it doesn't matter that it wasn't actually, you know, he didn't do a frame by frame to get the movement. He just swapped between them. Nobody even notices. As far as anyone is concerned, it's an animated channel, and he just redrew the arm. And in most of his videos, if there even is a limb moving, it's 1 or 2, and that's all he does. He doesn't do any individual frames. So it's really quite easy. I think everyone should do it. I put the video on my little tutorial on TikTok, and it got 40,000, 50,000 views, I think. And a lot of the comments are like, you know, why are you giving away all your secrets? Why are you telling everyone if it's so easy and everyone's doing it? aren't you going to get more competition? And I'm like, that's not really how animation channels really work. You know, I want to grow. It's a selfish act because I want to watch more people's animations. And it's not like somebody's going to say, oh, I don't want to watch MikeWardDraws. I already watched Nif's videos earlier today and I'm sick of them now. You know? So it's more like, what's that whole thing? Two cake artists, right? One of them's like, or not cake artists, two cake bakers. They're called bakers. You know, two of them make cakes, and one of them's going to say, "Oh, my cake's not as good as their cake. They're going to like theirs better." And then the other guy's saying the same thing. Whereas really, me, the fat guy sitting at the table, is like, "I get 2 cakes. This is great." Yeah, he eats both the cakes. You get it. Oh, this is what everyone should do. It's really easy if you use a program like Adobe Premiere, and you don't even need to really know how to use it. So I'm going to make a video that's just going to say, here, this is how. Animation is small. The community has tons of room. It has absolutely tons of room to grow. You know, look at, what was his name? Ice Cream Sandwich. What's his videos look like? Kind of like that. He usually draws his face kind of. I don't even know what his arms look like. But that's like his characters. And he does it on the big white screen, which a lot of the animation channels do. And it works for them. So why not? You know, you could do it, just literally have your character in the bottom corner talking. Blah, 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 blah. And you could just have JPEGs, PNGs or whatever, of whatever you're talking about. And you can say, hey, I went to the park today. And you have an actual photo of, and you could do story times like that. You know, I went to the park today, and then I saw a bike. I don't know why I did X's in them. It's impossible to draw a bike. If anyone tells you otherwise, they're lying. And you say, oh, I drew a bike. And then that way, so in the bottom is your little character talking. And a lot of times, people don't even animate the mouth. But if you do animate the mouth, do it obviously that way. And you can do these little animated story times. And really, I should be doing it. Now I'm talking about how easy it is. And I did one about a POG tournament that I was in. And I got no views. And the reason being is because POG is play of game, right? And so I really hurt myself by making a video about that. It's just so stupid for me to do. So anyway, nobody watched it, but it was actually a really easy video for me to make. I think I made it in 2 days. I probably could have made it in 1 day. Or there's another video where I angered up all the D&D community. My very first animation, I made a joke about wizards, and I said fireball instead of firebolt. And I made all the D&D nerds angry, so I made another video about it. And on YouTube, it didn't go very far because it was one of my first videos. And if it's your first 20 videos, nobody watches it. But on TikTok, it exploded because of the number of people commenting to tell me that I'm a big idiot, which has hurt my feelings. Actually, didn't really hurt my feelings, but it really helped grow the channel right away because I baited the community into saying so much. And then I made another video where I did all the art like this. And this probably is better than the art that was already in it. And yeah, it's engagement bait, really. And yeah, this is probably better than the art that was in the video. And so I did that, and I stuck that on YouTube too, or on TikTok as well. And it got like, so the first one got, I don't know, 300,000 views. And then the second one ended up getting like 50,000 views because people were watching it and then they were going back and looking at the other video that it was referencing. And it was just became this whole stupid thing. And I made that second video, and it was quite long, in, I don't know, 2 hours. And that included writing and recording it. And it's technically an animated channel, even though really the only thing that's animated, I think I drew my bunny like 10 times in different poses, but most of them were like this. And it was just his mouth that was changing. And so it just kind of looked like he was talking, and that was it. I think that was literally the only thing animated in the animated video. And yeah, it got 30,000 views. And even in the video, the original actual video where I put proper effort in, you know, I'm going to find the characters. it wasn't really that animated either. In fact, I was really figuring it out what I was doing. And it was I drew every frame in Photoshop. Let's see, that says emojis? No, Pokemons, stick dinosaurs, turtles. Winnie the Pooh. I did a lot of weird videos at the very beginning. Druid Wizard. Here we go. Frames. Okay. These are all the frames. Extra large icons. So nothing in this is animated. I drew the wizard and then I drew him with his mouth open in different mouth shapes. Oh yeah, and there's a part where he where the druid, hang on, let's find the druid. The druid here, he turns into a bear. Or not that bear. This bear. And I didn't know how to draw like an animation. So what I did instead of even animating it is I had first the regular druid, then I made him green, then I made the bear shape, and then I did the bear. And it was like, oh, look, I animated a transition, but really all I did was turn him into a green blob in the shape of the druid, then the green blob in the shape of the bear, and then the bear. And as far as anyone's concerned, it's just like, oh, animated a transformation there. And so the only thing in the whole video that was actually animated, arguably, question mark, was, I think I drew a smoke. I drew a smoke and I had it flip back and forth. That was it. The Pokemon transition method. That's literally where I learned it. That's so funny. One time I had to draw a guy throwing a ball and I didn't know how to do it. So I literally went onto YouTube, found a scene of Ash where he does his big throw and like he does the big, you know, first it's got like this and he's looking way off this way and then he's kind of spins around and his hat's going like this and he swings it off that way. And by the end he is like it's his whole body that does this ridiculous throw. As I'm going off the page again. And yeah, his whole body goes through this throw. And I just went frame by frame, just taking a screenshot, and I stuck him in, because I did it in Photoshop, which is not the best way to animate, but that's what I did. And I stuck him in Photoshop, and I just literally traced over each frame just the stick figure of him, and then I turned him into the character that I was doing, which in this case would be the bunny. And you know what? Why do I gotta invent the wheel? Somebody else already perfected the perfect Pokemon throw, so I just did that. And then in the video, I think he was just throwing a ball or something. So I cheated. It does work, right? I mean, if I have to draw like a fire, there's all these tutorials about, oh, draw this shape and draw, and sort of bend it up like that. No, I just found a video of a fire and then I just skipped ahead a few frames and then I just traced them. And you only need like 3 and then you've got a realistic looking fire. I'm like, I don't need to put effort in. That's why I'm not worried about AI. I was already lazy. Yeah, it's just another way to be lazy. I was lazy way before AI. I don't need AI. I got my own tricks. I'm getting tired, so I'm talking big, like I know what I'm talking about, while I'm drawing stick figures in MS Paint. I'm a real artist. I draw myself all smug. In my house robe. Quiet. There we go. There's me being super smug, talking about all my drawing progress. Progress? Can't even think of the word now. I am tired. While I'm drawing stick figures in MS Paint. Superior. Wait, superior? Oh, I can't even spell. Progruse. There we go. Progruse. Thanks, Niff. That's perfect. Mm-hmm. It is very late. I suppose that's where I end it. So thanks everyone for coming. Thanks Niff for talking so much. Kept my mouth blabbering. And hopefully the bunny worked the whole time. And I am definitely going to do this again. Definitely. I think I had a lot of fun. Although the next video will be an actual video. Bye. The end button is not ending. What happens? You will see me in Pyro, and hopefully I will have another video, Star Citizen video of me in Pyro. Because I had a lot of fun doing that. I actually want to do a whole bunch, like, that kind of thing, that open world, and draw the little character. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm going to make a short and see if I can redirect people to it. Take care, everybody. And like, that'd be cool if you hit the like. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Okay, goodbye.